Hello everybody, welcome back. It's me, Sars3red, and today we're starting a new series. This one being about Halo, again, because I love Halo. Specifically, it's going to be a series comparing Bungie and 343/Halo Studios' efforts at creating Halo. Who does it better? Alright, we're going to find out. Spoilers, you probably know who already, but we're actually not going to just go for a crazy conclusion and going, well, this is because of this and that's that. Done. No, I think it's quite a complex issue, so we're going to go and take our time through a variety of videos, I hope, depending on how well this does again. So if you guys want to see this again, let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you like. Today we're going to be talking about armors in particular, because any sci-fi movie, game, even movies in general, to be honest with you, set design, set pieces, and costume design as a whole is very important to sell it. I mean, it could be a really, really cheap movie, and you can still pull off really cool set design and kind of sell the idea of what you're trying to go for. What's the setting? What are the characters? Where's the time? You know? And, well, this can really, really, really decide on whether or not the audience is hooked and invests into the story. And simply just in the world. Do they feel like they could actually, you know, see themselves in this world? It's kind of painting that picture for you. It's quite important, especially for Halo. Halo, again, invests you into the story, the setting, everything about it from the get-go. That being Halo CE. So, for Halo, costume design, aka being the armors, is very integral, I'd say. I'd say one of the most significant factors of the series. It's very important because anybody who plays the game, other than the story, that being the campaigns, well, you play for the armor. I'm sorry to tell you, but that's how Halo works. You play multiplayer so you can level up, complete challenges, or, you know, get whatever progressive currency that is in that game so you can get an armor. That way, you can show it off, have your colors, you know, which are free, and you can express yourself. And in that way, you can sit back and play customs as yourself, because you are expressing yourself as a Spartan. You're going, this is me as a Spartan, this is what I'd rock, this is how I'd look. And it would be so personalized because, especially with Halo Reach and whatnot, you have armor attachments, armor accessories, and all these things. You could even be an elite. Again, don't know why that's not possible at 343, but anyway, I digress. We're not going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Spartan customization today and armor. So, you know, it's quite an important thing. If you take it out of the game, you start locking behind paywalls, behind battle passes that cost money, armor decals that you introduce, which actually could be a really cool way to express yourself. Lock that behind a paywall. Oh, you want armor coatings, which are cool, behind a paywall. If you remove these from the gameplay loop, there's no reason to play, because that's why people are playing. Okay? Obviously, if the gameplay is fun, they can play for a little bit, but if you want a long-standing series and someone to play the game for quite a while, it's because they're either attaining their armor, which they want to have, and their colors and whatnot, or they have it and they're satisfied and they can play and enjoy the game. If not, you're playing the game, you're not really playing, you don't feel like you're yourself, you don't feel like you're actually playing as a cool, awesome Spartan that you would be. You're playing as, you know, the recruit 265, and you're just playing the game with your base colors and your base armors. Pretty much. It's very sad. And even the games like Halo 4 and Halo 5, at least you could express yourself with armor and colors. Okay, and that's my opinion. That's why it one-ups a lot of the progression systems in Halo Infinite. I mean, hey, even at Halo 4, as terrible as a game it is, especially multiplayer-wise, at least there was a specialist system. What is there in Infinite? Well, apart from the battle passes that you gotta pay money for. But yes. Now, ever since the beginning of time, Bungie have hit it off with Halo, and they knew what they were doing. Alright, when they first started off, again, even though Halo C did not have a huge amount of progression in terms of customization, it was very much a vanilla game. It was 2001, okay? And from Halo 2 onwards, they knew what they were doing after that. Halo CE did not need to do that because, hey, they had the Mark V, one of my favorite armors from the get-go before they butchered it in, you know, the 343 games. We're not even going to talk about it. But yes, so the Halo Mark V armor.
Now hang on there, Silas. Hi y'all, nice to meet you. My name's Pertlight. For anyone who doesn't know, I am one of Silas's good old buddies from back in the Lethal Opinions podcast days. He asked me to come along and help him with this video with a nice little collaboration. And I figured the best way that I could have my input on this video is talking about this. Yes, this, the greatest of all-time Master Chief armor, the Mark V. But yes, this again. It's honestly just the greatest design all around, probably in everything Halo. Everything from the very minimalistic kind of design structure of the armor to the cool belly pouches. This is actually something I've always disliked about the Mark VI, although that is a great armor itself. I've always had this dislike to it because of one simple factor. There's no ammo pouches. How is he reloading? Oh. You see, with this armor here, this feels like a piece of sci-fi military equipment. I could see in like 100, 200, 300 years in the future, soldiers wearing something like this. It looks practical and as all hell. The visor, it isn't cluttered with a bunch of lines and extra details. It's just a visor. That's it. There's nothing special about it. The chest piece, although it does have little lights and boop bops here and there, is just that. It's just angled and has a nice little shape to it, but there's nothing too crazy about it. You have these two prongs on the back. I don't even know what these are for. They just look really cool. It's almost like ventilation of some kind. It's just really awesome looking. And then the back, it has like all these computer components, and it looks really neat because the tech has to go somewhere, right? And the back, that's a great place for all the tech to go, so it makes sense. Everything about this design is so beautifully done. It's masterful. Even in terms of like where the armor is, you notice there's a lot of black spots on the armor to kind of imply almost like this is like less armored, but it makes the most sense. Look at any real life armor, and those are the places where they don't tend to put a lot because that's where you need the most flexibility. It's so genius and it's so good. And 343 ruins it. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? That right there? That's what I like to call an abomination to the iris. This absolutely disgusting heap of vomit is 343's first ever attempt at making Master Chief. And I'm not joking. This is one of the clearest signs that 343 Industries had no idea what they're doing with Master Chief. It takes what was such a beautifully sculpted masterpiece and then over designs it in literally every way for literally no reason. There is not a single part of this helmet, except for one that we'll get to in a second, that has not been over designed to all hell. You get this beautiful design where it's very simple and sleek and really coolly designed. It also has this really nice metallic finish. Sure, it's green, but it almost looks like the green paint has been scratched away, leaving this really nice silver underlayer. It looks really cool. And then you get this. What am I supposed to say? You remember how I praised this armor for not having a lot of armor here in the ankles? Yeah, they just put armor there for some reason, because who cares about logic, right? It looks cool! The hands are weirdly and freakishly small, while the codpiece is just giant? It's super bizarre. I don't get why they did that. It makes no sense. The entire chest piece has like this weird shape where it's like extra defined around like the pectoral region where it's like dented in. I don't know why. The only part about this armor design that isn't completely garbage is the helmet. The helmet's not great by any means. The visor's way too big, but I guess I'll take that over, you know, this. But it's like, why does it kind of look weirdly proportioned? I can't get over his hands, man. Look how small they are. Why'd they do that to my man? But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed my little TED talk on the Mark V's and why this version is actually just so good, and why this version's the like visual equivalent of finding out you've been diagnosed with a terminal illness. If you guys want to check out my channel, you can check out the link in the description below. And back to Silas the Red.
Thanks, I guess. All right. Don't even know who that guys. Now, don't get me wrong. Halo, Bungie, they had some interesting armors where I'm like, okay, I don't know how I feel about that. But there was one or two. I could literally name them on the top of my head because there was only a couple. Everything else I loved. I loved a lot of armors, okay? And the one thing I don't like, which apparently has become a really big trend in the 343 games, is nano cameras to be able to see through, or whatever the excuse is, where you have no visor and you can see through because there's cameras and stuff. No, no one would do that. That is so inefficient. Literally. I'm sorry, but it's the worst idea. Every helmet should have a visor. Alright? I'm sorry to tell you, sorry to burst anybody's bubble, but every armor in Halo should have a visor. I'm gonna say it here, okay? It should. It's ridiculous if not. I'm gonna say it right now. I mean, even down to the art style of Bungie. They knew what they were doing. They showed the metallic armor that had weathering and damaging. They had everything. It captured the armor. You looked and you went, that looks like some heavy duty armor, and it's been through some stuff. Everything, as Perlite mentioned, was meant to be there, right? 343, however, was like the kid sat behind him in class, and they're writing an essay in an exam, and they're peeking over the shoulder going, copying everything down what they've written. However, there's a problem. They're blind, and they can't see what they're writing down. Second problem, they can't write. You see the problem. There's a huge component to armor that a lot of people overlook, which I'm going to go into very shortly. But armor from the 343 period does not show, they don't sell me bulk. They don't show me strength. If I looked into the older games, I go, holy moly, that guy looks like a walking tank. They might be slim, they might look athletic, okay? But they still look like a tank. I mean, George, for instance, tank. Even Chief, he is a hulking 7-foot giant with this military metallic bulk to him, right? And you go, he's a tank, but he can move because he's got these rubber kind of bodysuit areas, where obviously whatever it is made out of, I don't know. But it looks like a rubbery thing, and this is kind of better for me to explain because I don't know what it is. I don't know the intricate details of the lore, but all I can say now is looking at it from a player, someone going into, they go, that's very rubbery, it's very detailed, it looks very thick, it looks very protective, but he looks like he's got maneuverability. He looks like he's got agility, right? Now, credit where credit's due. 343. The Spartans definitely got maneuverability because they have no armor. They look like they're about to film a TikTok video of gymming, or they're going to go for a cycle. They literally have zero armor whatsoever. They got it plonked here, plonked here, plonked here, miss the stomach, this, that, plonk it there, plonk it maybe in the crotch a little bit, crunch it, you know. Do you know what armor is? It's meant to protect you. And even the under bodysuit doesn't look protective to me. Like I said, it looks like some cyclist. It looks like somebody's about to do some gym video. Why? Like, seriously, it doesn't look protective. It doesn't look like a military grade issue thing. It doesn't. It just sells civilian, and anybody can be a Spartan if you just put on some gym gear and some leggings and you're good to go. What? And even the Mega Bloks figures look like they depict more armor detailing and more protection than the 343 games. It looks like styrofoam. It doesn't look protective. The texturing on it is so weird. It looks like some cosplay, what someone's worn to Comic-Con, which, no offense to them, but they don't have a military budget of an intergalactic level like the UNSC. And then 343 go, maybe we're the problem. But not actually, it was Bungie. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring back their armors, specifically from Halo Reach, a lot from Halo Reach. And we're going to bring it back, and we're going to put our 343 touch. We're going to put our gloss all over it. We're going to make them look better than what they were meant to be. I'm sorry, but the proportions, I don't know if they were working on it in the office, and they had it on open on Blender with all the different armors from Halo Reach, and the office cat has just run across all the keyboards. And then there was a fire. But the proportions are off. I mean, I can imagine the offspring from Alien Romulus rocking this thing. Like, why is there so much neck? Do we know what armor is? I mean, even the medieval times, they had protection where it showed less neck. And that was medieval times. And cat ears. But yeah, it's safe to say, Bungie wins this. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. What am I saying? I'm not sorry. But Bungie wins this, and it was a pretty easy win. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's terrible. Next episode, if you guys like and subscribe to this, I will react to one of my friends who hasn't even played the 343 era games. I want his opinion on all the questionable, which is basically all of the 343 helmets. If you want me to do that, give a smash of the like, and give a comment, and subscribe and let me know. All right, cool. And if you want to join the Discord, all the power to you.